I'll buy it and I'll put it away. So 5 years ago, we bought a $50 mini bike off of Marketplace, and today we're gonna turn it into a backyard beast.
Brother, there ain't much mini bike there.
What are you talking about? It's a beautiful mini bike.
All right, let's get it outside and see if we can get it running.
Engine's not stuck.
What a beaut.
It is a beaut, it's tiny.
This is gonna be a challenge.
It really is, but you know what? A swing arm on the back, it's gonna lengthen it. Maybe the front suspension, this thing's gonna be fantastic.
All right, yeah, I like where you're going with this.
Good, that's all I got. I mean, oh, this could work. Front suspension with the handlebars will kind of lean forward a little bit.
Okay, all right, I like what you're saying. But that's gonna need like more wheelbase, it's gonna need an engine, wheels, tires.
I mean, swing arm's gonna give it more wheelbase.
There we go.
We just kind of scoot the seat back a little bit to give a little bit more leg room. The throttle cable still works, man.
Does it really?
Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Still working.
Wow.
No carburetor though.
All right, man, well, you know what? Let's get this in the shop. And I want to try to get this thing running just to see what happens.
Okay.
All right, ready to go for a ride?
Yeah, man.
I'll pull start it.
All right, thanks.
Sounds good already.
We won the 2024 Go Power Sports 183 hour mini bike endurance race, and to practice for this year, we figured why not build a bang for the buck race trail oriented bike out of this $50 heap.
So we thought this bike was like a mystery bike. Well, I found a serial number here and I looked it up and it turns out to be a Manco Streaker model 580 or something like that. It's really not that desirable. It's been beat up, it's been welded on, the pegs are bent, so
it's got the wrong engine in it already.
yeah, all that to say it's the perfect platform for our build. Let's check the oil on this thing before we try to fire it up.
One last hurrah.
We're gonna throw a rod out of the side of the block?
I don't know, that's why I said why even check the oil.
There's no oil in it.
Oh, that's good.
There's no oil in it. Man, I gotta put at least half the bottle in, man.
So it was bone dry.
It's bone dry, dude. All right, let's shoot a little ether and see what happens. Oh. No spark plug in the hole.
Oh.
All right. Let's see if it's got compression.
Cool.
That's good. So we have a racing spark plug here. This ought to increase the horsepower at least 6 more horsepower.
We're doubling it?
Well, actually it has no horsepower right now because there's no spark plug in it. So
oh, I like
we're increasing it. Ignition on. Let's fire this bad boy up. There we go. Fire in the hole.
Zombie engine.
It sounds good. Not even knocking, dude.
Like it's not gonna be. It's blowing out ice.
Is that ice? Oh, that's ice. That is ice. I think that was spark knocking.
Ah,
Yeah. So
we got a good engine here.
that sounds like a good engine, dude. When you rock it back and forth, if there's any rod knock, usually you get a little bit of slop in the rod bearing, or well, there is no bearing in this actually. It's solid, dude. This is a good engine.
Sweet.
Can we do something with it?
Sure.
I don't know. I feel like we can do something with it.
Hey, man.
Mystery engine.
Let's get this thing up on the table and get to work.
Sounds good.
All right, so we are completely overhauling this tired mini bike with the best bang for the buck upgrades we can possibly throw on this thing to answer one question. Can
What's
you
that?
polish a turd? Dude, it's gonna be a challenge, but I think we can pull it off.
See some shine.
Really? Oh, dude. Yeah.
So it turns out this thing is just a little puny GX 120. Not a whole lot we're going to be doing to it. So we're going to be building a custom Tillotson 236 engine.
That's right.
With all the go fast goodies in it. We're going to be building the front suspension to the rear suspension. It's going to have some cush to it. This thing is going to turn out to be one bad mamma jamma. I bought this bike. This was a Facebook Marketplace find. Not this bike in particular. I went there for another bike. The guy had a Scat Cat for sale, and this bike just so happened to be in his possession too. And I was like, man, I'd like to have that bike. And he was like, $50. And I was like, sold.
You have to buy it then.
You have to, man. I didn't know what this bike was. All I know is it had one tire and an engine and some handlebars. I mean, it's a good thing to start with, right? So this has been one of those projects that has been hanging around forever, and I just kind of figured we'd get to it one day. Well, I guess today is the day, right?
Yeah, I mean, we all have some of those.
Yeah, I've got a lot of projects that are just on the back burner. If I see a good deal on Facebook Marketplace, that is my favorite place to go for projects. I'll buy it and I'll put it away. This one's probably been put away for
At least 5 years.
4 to 5 years.
So this is actually a really good platform for what we're doing because someone already put a non-original engine on it already. This would have had a 3-4 horsepower Tecumseh Briggs & Stratton flathead.
Yep.
So we're like 5 to 6xing the horsepower on this thing. It's got a scrub brake.
I say we keep the scrub brake.
No, dude, they're like notoriously awful.
I mean, if you ride it in the rain, there it is. The power plant, the old one. Look at that. Throttle's still good, buddy.
Sweet. Yeah, this front end is no good anyway. I mean, look, the rust is pretty bad. We could straighten it too, but you know, we're just gonna replace it with suspension.
I've taken bikes down the drag strip with forks bent more than this, dude. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna block up this bike. We're gonna figure out the exact height that we want this bike to be. Then we're gonna be building the suspension off the front and then the suspension off the back.
Yep, we'll get a good idea of how big of a job.
I mean, it's not gonna be that big of a job, right?
Wouldn't it be so cool to just bolt it on?
Oh, it would be awesome. That's what I'm counting on, dude.
All right.
Oh, dude. Like a glove.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Dude,
it was meant to be.
that has me fired up already.
Dude, it looks great.
I know. I mean, we have everything to build a new engine, but this one's looking pretty good. All right, man. Well, let's pop this engine off, get the front end torn apart, and start putting it back together.
Sounds good, dude.
Here's what we're working with.
Whoa! I think the brake's too hard.
So the upside here is that Go Power Sports hooked us up with the finest performance parts made for mini bikes right now. I'm gonna link everything in the video description that we're using today. The challenge is that, well, none of these parts are designed to fit this kind of arbitrary 90s Manco mini bike. So we're gonna see if we can bolt the nicest parts to a cruddy bike and have something that rips out on the trails. I think with the right setup, it'll be fine, but I mean, even that right there, our new neck bolt does not fit. So let's fix that and work on the front end.
So Go Power Sports sent us a bunch of options for wheels. We have these chrome ones, red ones, black ones. Are there any other colors?
Yeah, there's like blue. There's a lot of
colors. Wow, a lot of colors, okay. But we're gonna go with the chrome because you know chrome makes it go fast. They also sent us a couple of different sets of tires. We got these knobby off-road ones, and then we have these like on off-road ones right there. We're gonna go with these knobby ones. So I've just kind of set it up. It might be a little bit too much for this bike, but they are beautiful.
Yeah, they look awesome, but that might be a little bit more than what she bargained for.
Well, you know, the only way to find out is we'll set it up and see how it looks.
Yeah, man, let's start mocking it up. I think it's gonna handle awesome with that, but
the bigger the tires, the better handling.
Right.
So we did have to modify our triple tree clamps to fit the factory bolt going in this bike frame. We wanted to go with something a little bit beefier for the off-roading because we're planning on doing some serious off-roading with this thing. And look, it fits perfect. So we also have these heavy-duty fork tubes, and they have the Boss on here for the front brake, which is super duper nice.
this thing just got some ground clearance, man. It's kind of cool. I think we're not going to be able to decide on this front end and the wheels until we get the rear mocked up.
We got to get the back of it mocked up.
Let's do it.
All right.
So this is a swing arm kit to a Megamoto 8105. Super popular bike, makes it handle awesome. Not at all designed with this thing in mind.
Nope.
Dude, we've gone from stub to like 1.5 miles long.
Yeah. I say we bolt the rear tire, wheel and tire on it.
Yep.
And we block up the rear swing arm off the back and just kind of stand back with the motor loaded in it.
Yeah, and with the Sawzall.
And then just kind of look at it and then like decide from there.
The smart move. Let's do it. What are you looking smug for?
I'm liking the build. Love the build.
Yeah. You know the Honda Ruckus swing arm look?
Yeah.
It's what we got right now.
I like the Ruckuses.
I mean, they're pretty cool. So we can start to see what we're going for here, but yeah, we're gonna have to cut the chassis. We have a test engine there, and we're gonna need to do something with clearance for engine plate as well. So we need to build a new engine plate and, unfortunately, chop the chassis back here so we can bring our swing arm pivot point forward.
Yeah, I'm thinking we take the engine and we give her the front tilt to it, which is gonna straighten out the torque converter, and it'll give us a little bit more height on this to match the sprocket on the torque converter. I think it's gonna turn out pretty cool, dude.
Oh, it's gonna be sweet.
Yeah.
Let's just get it there.
So this swing arm needs to be right around here. And the only way we're gonna get that here is just to go ahead and cut the frame.
Let's do it.
All right.
I thought you were gonna cut it behind that cross member.
I was, but we got to get rid of the cross member anyways.
All right. That looks much better.
Does it?
It's looking like a proper maxi bike.
Yeah, this thing's gonna have to go more like right there.
Okay. Pretty much as close as we can get it to that
Yeah.
backing plate.
Yep.
I like what we have, man.
All right, that does look a lot better. Yeah. And these are gonna go up here on the frame somewhere. I think we're gonna have to move the seat backwards and make the frame come out to get the springs about in this position, I think.
That's gonna be tricky. They're kind of in the middle of nowhere right now.
Well, but I think that we can probably bring seating position backwards and have a little gusset joining to here somewhere, and then we can trim the rest of it.
All right.
There we go, fire in the hole! Got to remember that spring back.
Covered.
Yep.
Covered.
And covered.
Nice. So that's part of the engine plate.
Yep. That should work out real nice.
Oh, yes. That looks great, dude. It's perfect.
Like a dream.
Oh, man, that's good. So we got our nice tilted engine plate. Dude,
Race bike.
it's, oh yeah. If you got a tilted engine, it's gonna move out.
That's right, this turd is getting shiny.
Gosh. No, it's not, because we're not painting it.
Right. Oh my goodness. It is coming down. This thing can go 180 degrees. It can go past 180.
Hold it. Don't
Bring
go too
back.
far.
Bring back. Oh. Yeah.
Nice.
What I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
That is
sweet.
okay. I mean, it's close. You can bend it to fit more or just take a little bit out of here.
Yep. I like it.
Yeah, just make it
Great.
sweet.
Great job.
Yeah. So the boys are working on turning that $50 marketplace barn find into a masterpiece. We are going to work on assembling a 236cc performance engine. This is a great platform. Say you've done a stage 1, or maybe even you've installed a billet rod and flywheel into a Predator or a Tillotson, and you're looking to go to that next step. Well, a 236 is awesome for a few reasons. Bang for the buck and approachability. We're gonna get our hands dirty a little bit, like by porting the cylinder head ourselves, maybe doing a little bit of clearancing on the camshaft, maybe the crankshaft, maybe the block, but there's not so much hands-on clearancing that you would see with a larger engine. So building one of these engines really isn't all that bad. All you need is a basic tool set. You need lots of light, give yourself plenty of room, clean surfaces, brake clean, paper towels, and either assembly lube or just oil, depending on how soon you end up running the engine after you build it. First things first, we're gonna do what we like to call block prep. Head over there. So Tillotson is our go-to engine block. We love them because they're reinforced compared to the Predator 212, so you can run more horsepower and don't have to worry about ejecting your jug from the rest of the block. It happens, I've seen it. We like to go the extra step and chamfer the sharp edges on the block and also clean up some of the kind of leftover casting bits in these engines. So we're gonna grab a fresh razor blade, a Dremel, you can use a file, a pick, a small screwdriver, and just smooth out the edges of this block. Because remember, these things don't have oil filters, so any loose metal in there is just gonna fly around. I mean, I've done a third of this and you can see, look at that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So this is all stuff that we're gonna be, we don't have to worry about in our first oil change. And our rule of thumb for block prep is that if the little chunk of casting doesn't come off with a small screwdriver or a razor blade, like these right here, it's probably not gonna come off in your oil. So we're not actually done with block prep. We need to clean our bore here, but we're not gonna do that until we're ready to drop the piston in, because it actually has a coating that's gonna help protect it from, well, rusting until we drop the piston in, right? Next up, we gotta drop in our main bearing. Sometimes they go right in, sometimes you need a little bit of heat to install it, and I think we're gonna need to drop this thing in the oven.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's not going in. So you don't want to hammer this bearing in. We've done it in the past and frankly it's been fine, but the proper way is not to hammer it.
So, bearing in the freezer, blocking the heater.
Exactly.
Or blocking the oven.
Science class.
Yep.
So we have our block in the oven at 400 degrees and our main bearing in the freezer for 20 minutes. And in the meantime, we're just doing more prep work. So we have the piston, we're doing the edges of the skirt here, just to chamfer the edges, again, to reduce the debris we're gonna have in that first oil change. We're inspecting the rod, we're checking clearance on our rockers, basic, just like making sure everything looks good before we proceed. We forgot a critical step in dropping your bearing into your block. You need to make sure your wife or girlfriend is at work. This is brand new, so it's actually not stinky. It's never really had any oil on it other than manufacturing. So, ready?
Yep.
Hot potato. Hot block. Cold bearing.
Ooh, ooh.
Give it a tap. I think it's fully seated.
It's amazing how it wouldn't fit earlier, and it just basically dropped right in.
Yeah. No, it's oops.
No, it's fine.
So we are happy with that.
Awesome.
This puppy is nice and clean and ready for assembly.
Come on, buddy.
It's still hot, but I'm gonna make a run for it.
Making a run for it. Right behind you.
Dude, it's hot. It's getting toasty.
So next up, we're gonna work the cylinder head. So we're starting with the shred head here from Go Power Sports. You can bolt this on to your otherwise stock engine, I believe, and get a nice bump in horsepower. Or you can go the extra level and do some port matching and some porting, some polishing, things we'll talk about later to really open this thing up and get it to flow. This one came pre-assembled with stainless steel valves and dual valve springs.
28.5 on the intake and 25 millimeter on the exhaust. That's the valve face you have there. So it's got nice flow, but we're just going to get just a little bit more out of it.
Sweet. Have fun, buddy.
Thanks. Also got a pretty good combustion chamber right there.
Yeah, it's nice and small.
Yeah, small combustion chamber, more compression, which should give you a pretty good bump in performance.
Yeah, it's a very affordably priced, but still really nice flowing cylinder head.
So we're gonna remove the valves so we can start massaging or cutting out our intake port. We are gonna start by port matching. So the idea with port matching is you install your intake and you look down in there and you look for anything that gets in the way of the air flowing through the intake.
A shoulder or lip.
Yeah, so we've got a lip right here, and I'm already marked it with a marker. I put the intake on and I put the marker down in there and I marked right there. I'm gonna cut that out, and I want a nice flow straight through the intake, straight into the head. So we're gonna cut that out, and we're also gonna cut some of the walls out on the inside to try to get the best flow. We want the highest volume and also the smoothest the air can go through, if you know what I'm talking about. You don't want to go too much. You can go too much. We're gonna lightly massage this head. So let's start by removing the valves. Once you get it adjusted correctly, you just press that, get yourself a magnet, and you fish out the keeps. One of them already fell out. So once you get the keeps out, you release the tool, spring comes out, and this is nice. This is a dual valve spring. These heads come with 40-pound springs. Great for high revving engines. You're not going to float your valves out, which is pretty important. If you float a valve, it can damage the valve or your piston. So these are some really sweet stainless valves. They should last a really long time. Good flow, great part to have. So with the valve out, you can see right into the cylinder. We are going to open things up and smooth them out. Now, this is the intake. You don't want, when I say smooth it out, I'm talking about any raised bumps that would obstruct the air and fuel going in. You want a rough finish, so you don't polish the intake, you leave a rough finish. So I've got it opened up as much as I'm gonna go, and you notice it's not a nice pretty finish. I'm also going to make it a little bit less nice by using like 80 grit sandpaper, and I'm just sanding away in there. You don't want anything smooth on the intake. The fuel will atomize over rough surfaces. When it's being forced through, it kind of, I don't know, kind of cavitates or whatever. If you, how water, if you like, I don't know. So we're giving it a rough surface so the air and fuel will atomize before it gets into the combustion chamber. Now that we've got the intake ported the way we want it, we're gonna move on to the exhaust. We're gonna open that up as well. I'm gonna find whatever exhaust we are using, and I'm gonna put the flange up there, and I'm gonna judge how much material I'm gonna remove from here, and then I'm gonna do the best I can, make it almost like a mirror-like finish. So I'm gonna remove the valve and get started there. So we are gonna repeat the process as we did with the intake. We're going to port match the exhaust flange to the exhaust on the head. And I'm going to use a marker by doing that. Can't really see it, but I mean I see it. We're going to remove that material, which is going to open up the port. So I have now finished up the porting on the exhaust. This is where it takes a lot more time.
Diminishing returns.
Yeah, so you start off with like 80 grit, or in this case 60 grit sandpaper. You start sanding the port, trying to smooth everything out. Then you'll go to, I don't know, 800 grit, or I don't know, less than 200 grit. And then 800 grit, then 1,000 grit, 2,000 grit, and you're working on a mirror finish. Am I going to go that far? Probably not, but it's going to be a nice smooth port when I'm done.
So now that our block has been deburred and cleaned and our main bearing's been installed, our final step of block prep is going to be to wipe out the actual cylinder, wipe out all the oil and grit that comes from manufacturing. Yep, look at all that. So I'm gonna spend a few minutes cleaning this out, and then we can do a mock-up and check for clearance. For our clearance check, we're gonna install the wrist pin and its 2 associated clips, the piston, the connecting rod bearings, and the crankshaft. We're just gonna get these rod bolts just beyond finger tight, because this is just a clearance check. So we don't have any piston rings installed, and this is just beyond finger tight, and we can check our clearance to see if our connecting rod is going to hit the block anywhere. As you can see, it gets very close in a few places. I mean, check out right up there. Look how close the oil dipper gets to the side of the block. Same with the head of the bolt there. But it just clears. Same thing with up top. Look how close that gets. And even down here, it gets very, very close. But this is why we like the 236. It gets close to everything, but usually doesn't really need any clearancing. On the crankshaft, the camshaft might be another story. So now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to clean out our beautiful ARC billet side cover. You'd be surprised at the amount of shavings that come in these things. I mean, right here, you got to clean it out just like the block. because that's just from where they threaded your oil fill and they just blasted it in there. It's your responsibility to clean it out. You got more right here, and there's some right there. Anyway, these are great side covers. We love them. They're very rigid, but you do need to clean them out if you don't want debris in your oil. So now we're gonna need to clearance the camshaft. So similarly to the rod, the cam gets very close to other bits of the engine, and usually you do have to clearance it to fit. So we're just putting some assembly lube on the parts that are gonna touch. We can test fit it. We need to make sure to line up our timing marks. We have one on the gear on the crankshaft. We have one on the camshaft. As you can see, I'm one tooth off. Oh, come on. There we go. Now we're lined up. We've already installed our 4 dowel pins. That's going to locate our side cover. And these can be a little tricky sometimes. So I'm gonna grab a rubber mallet and just kind of help it on there. So we got the side cover on, and we are checking to see if we have any hiccups. Like that. So we have something inside there that is whacking something else. I'm gonna say it's the camshaft. That appears to be the only spot though. And there it gets stuck on the other end. So I'm gonna put it right where it gets stuck, and we can pull it back apart and take a look for ourselves. And the reason we install the side cover for our clearance check is because the side cover here locates the crankshaft exactly where it needs to go. So it's hard to see, but we have a camshaft lobe that's coming in contact with the crankshaft. So we need to pull it off. I need to mark it with a Sharpie, take our crankshaft over to the bench grinder to make some clearance. So the crankshaft is gently but securely mounted in our bench vise, and I use some tape just to put around the journal because we really don't want any sparks or any debris hitting the journal. All right, so I got it marked. Very careful. Here we go. A little bit goes a long way. We're gonna thoroughly clean it, reinstall, recheck. We reassembled this thing and had to blow it back apart because it still wasn't fitting, but we finally got it there. And it's just such a satisfying feeling to be able to spin that motor over multiple times. So now that we have clearance, we're gonna go ahead and install our piston rings. So this piston has 3 rings. It has the oil ring, which is 3 separate pieces. It has the first compression ring, and it has the second compression ring, or the top compression ring. You're gonna very carefully install them like so. And we want to make sure that our ring gaps are not facing the same direction. They're all spread out when we put this thing in. The other note when it comes to these piston rings is that the 2 compression rings on first glance look very similar. However, the top ring actually has a chamfer on the inside edge. So that's how we always tell them apart. This one is titled CYPR1, and that's the top ring, and the second ring, the middle ring, is CYPR2. So now we can use a ring compressor, get this thing installed, and torque down our rod. I'm gonna tap this in until we can meet the journal. And just like our timing dots, we have 2 dots on the rod. We have 1 on the cap here, and we have 1 on the beam, just to help you line up your 2 halves. So we torqued the rod to spec, we installed the side cover, and we listened one more time, and we actually discovered that part of the compression release on the camshaft was coming into contact with the side of the lobe on the crankshaft. So we're going to remove this again, chuck it up in the lathe, and just take a little bit of material off just right here so we don't have that issue. If you don't have a lathe, no big deal. You can use a bench grinder, but just remember, like, a little bit goes a long way, and we don't want to debalance the engine. So we've had these components in and out of the engine quite a few times checking for clearance, and here's what we ended up with. We had to grind down on the crankshaft right here to clear one of the cam lobes. We put this in the lathe and machine down this a little bit to clear the compression release on the camshaft. And finally, we weren't having an issue, but we've had this issue in the past, so we went ahead and ground down on the camshaft on this side and on that side because it was very, very close to the connecting rod. So let's get it in again for the last time. So the billet side cover comes with a bunch of these little shims that you put in between the bearing on the cover and on the crankshaft. And you're trying to set what's called end play.
So what you're looking for is that crankshaft moving in and out from the side cover.
Yep.
And it's gonna be tight.
Yeah, and you know, if you're doing this in your garage, you may not have like a dial indicator gauge because there is a spec, but the way we like to do it is like just so you can see it and feel it move, and no more than that, right?
Yeah, because it can be too tight.
Right, and that causes friction.
And it causes issues. You do not want it too tight. I like, just me personally, setting it on the little bit on the tight side, and so far so good.
But you don't want it loose because then it's going to wear your, well, it's going to wear everything.
Yes. So we're torquing on the side cover, and you do it in like an X pattern. You don't go all the way around, and
we're looking for 16 foot-pounds, and it looks like we're already there.
We're already there. So it is time to marry our cylinder head to our beautiful engine block. So John did a wonderful job on this short block. It's looking good. We're gonna take my head work and match it to his block work. So we're putting a gasket on. This is like a stock style gasket, and make sure you clean off the mating surface here. We're not going to be adding any Honda Bond or any copper seal because everything looks so good. It should just bolt right on and be fine. So here we go, going together. This is good. The bolts are already a little on the oily side, so I'm not going to add any oil. That's my preference, to have oil on the studs. Some people don't like the oil. I do. It makes for a good even, yeah, everything's oily already. Makes for a good smooth tightening on this. So now we're going to be tightening down the head bolts to 25 foot-pounds in steps. So I like to do 3 steps. I'm going to do 5 foot-pounds, then I'm going to do 10 foot-pounds, and well, I might do 4 steps. 5, 10, 20, 25. Seems pretty good. And you do it in a X pattern. So I started there, I'm going here, then we're going to go here, and we're going to go here. I hadn't hit the 5 yet, but that gets it to where the head is meeting the gasket. So now we're going to tighten it until it clicks. Click. So I guess with the lower pressures, it's not going to have a powerful click. So let's go to 15, and I should be able to hear a click on this one. There we go. I was starting to wonder. So now that we have our long block it's a good time to install our flywheel so we can turn this engine over easily, so we can play with our valves, install our rockers, and check everything out. So I'm going to go ahead and add some lapping compound to the crankshaft, because we are going to lap the flywheel and we're going to make sure it's got a good even seat. The lapping compound is basically, it's like grease with it's almost like beach sand in it, and the grease holds it in place. And we're gonna install this, and we're gonna, you hear that dirt sound? So you just kind of work it. Make sure you got pressure on it to keep it even. By now we got something, so let me show you what we've got. I have no idea if it's a good match or not, but we're about to find out. Oh yes, that looks great. So it looks like it's matching perfectly with the flywheel and crankshaft. You see the dark versus the shiny. So the compound that I put in there is showing me that this is a nice fit. Not all flywheels fit. There's some differences between the Hemis and non-Hemis.
The taper?
Yes.
So that consistent dullness is what we're looking for.
Yeah. There we go. So since this is a pull start engine, we're going to install our starter cup, install our nut, and we're going to tighten it down to 65 foot-pounds. So we have right here our own build your own push rod kit from Go Power Sports. They're chromoly, they're very nice. They come extra long, you got the ball on one end, and they provide you with a ball to hammer in the other end once you have the proper length cut on these. We do know already that these are supposed to be 5.35 inches because we've had the same exact setup on another engine. So let's go ahead and start cutting and then installing these. So I've got one of the push rods made, and I'm going to show you how you can make it. See, it's right in between. So the one that I made is right in the middle. And you can see it was like right in between the ones that we pulled out of our drawer over there, because we save them just in case we need them, or it's good for using them for setup. So I measured what we have here, and I'm going to make the exact size push rod. There's our mark. We've got this pipe cutter.
It's used for like brake lines, right?
Yes, it's used for brake lines. And they don't like the chromoly, but you know what? If you're nice and easy, it's not too bad. And I'm gonna cheat on this. There's gonna be so many people like, no! But man, let me tell you, it's
So what's wrong with doing that?
I don't know, if you got a really crummy tool, I bet it wouldn't be too good. It's a lot easier than holding it and doing it by hand.
Sounds like you're a real DeWalt guy.
So these tools have this little shark fin right here. It is used to clean up the inside of the tubing. We stick the end right there, and you find something soft to hammer on. Doesn't like it. So this carbon steel ought to be softer than the ball. Did you hear the difference there? But the ball's good. Dude, looks perfect. Let's go ahead and install these on our head, and then we'll have the head done. Let's put a little dab of assembly lube on the end of the pushrod tubes. There was one case, I thought I'd point this out just in case y'all have the same issue. There was one case where I was using a shred head with these same exact black Venom rockers, and I think that maybe the holes were drilled and tapped in just a slightly different location here. See this boss right here on the head? I actually had the rocker shaft right there hit that, and it actually, well, broke the rocker shaft. And it, you know, it happens. It was one case out of how many, John?
Bunch.
So before you tighten down on their rocker shaft, you probably want to check the clearance right here on the head and make sure it doesn't interfere. Because I'm going to show y'all, it's going to be real close. All right, the rockers are installed. Let's set them. We usually set them to 0.003.
Some folks just go like basically zero.
I've got the 0.005. I don't know what happened to our other feeler gauge. This will work. I'm just going to set it on the really tight side.
There you go. And
Yeah.
this is an item you're going to want to check like maybe an hour into running the engine.
Yeah, definitely going to be okay. Yeah, I'm going to get a lot of drag on this, and that'll be perfect. So see, I can still put it in there, which means this will be in good shape. So we're going to lock this down and recheck it. So the head bolts are tightened up. Let's go ahead and seal up the engine with this beautiful billet valve cover. This thing looks super. So we're running 2 vents off this valve cover. I only have one brass nipple in there right now, but we were going to have a hose coming from here to here, so I'm going to have to cut some hose and fit that, and then we're going to have a vented one going up to either the frame on the bike or go-kart, whatever this engine is going to be attached to. Right now it's going to be on a mini bike, so we'll have a hose coming up underneath like the seat. So with these flywheels you need a lot of space. If the coil is too close, it's going to, it's not good for the coil. So we're going to use our feeler gauges, set it for 50 thousandths, and we're going to go between the flywheel and this point of the coil, 50 thousandths. All right, coil is tight. Let's recheck it. Sometimes you want to recheck it. That's good. Right after, that's good. Right after you check it, because sometimes it will move after tightening up. So let's move on to what's next. So this head uses a different intake than the regular Predator or Honda clone heads. It has its own intake and gasket, and we're going to go ahead and install it. And this thing has been port matched for this intake right here. So once we get it installed, it's going to have a nice even bore from tip of the intake all the way into the cylinder head. So next we're going to be installing this intake boot, and then we're going to install our, it's a tight fit, but that's what you want. And we're going to be installing a 24 flat slide. I'm not going to fully tighten it up because I know this engine is tilted on the frame, so we're going to have to make a slight adjustment once we have it installed. But once it's installed and tightened up, it's going to be ready to go.
The engine is complete other than exhaust and air filter and, of course, our CVT. So we're going to be using the jug averter 30 series on this bad boy. Basically, if you have a lot of power and you want a good transmission like a CVT, you're going to want a jug averter. Not only are we going to use this, we're going to install the Stage 1 tuner kit. So this is for increased stall to take farther advantage of the high power band this engine produces. So we have these 3 new rollers right here. They've been lightened and tuned, and we're gonna take this apart and replace the ones in there with these. So we have our taken apart driver in a vise, and we're gonna loosen this hardware and replace it with this really nice new hardware that kind of reminds me of titanium. I think it's titanium because it's certainly a lot lighter than what we are pulling out. So we need to make sure to relieve the pressure on this roller. The bolt will pop right out, as will the roller. We need to replace this inner bushing with this much lighter machined one. Pry that back open. It's a tight fit, so we're going to give it a gentle tap. Install the new lighter bolt and nylon nut. And this thing is ready to get reassembled, put back together with higher stall and a better hole shot.
Now we need to make these form a bit to the frame a little better. So we've made sure that it's not going to go anywhere, compressing to the center. And we're going to heat this up quite a bit. See if we can make it happen.
Marshmallows?
Roasting some marshmallows. Well,
It's a lot bigger than it used to be.
it sure is.
It grew.
Look at that. It's like a regular size mini bike. Would you like to sit on it first, sir?
No, all you. It's got a little mush to it too, huh?
I think we can adjust this a little bit forward. It's a little on the stiff side, but we have suspension.
Heck yeah.
Oh, dude, it feels good.
I mean, we got ground clearance, we got wheelbase, we got tire size.
And if we put the pegs like under the engine plate,
Yeah. Some mid-mount pegs.
some mid-mount, it'd be good.
We're just kind of working on the brake brackets and, of course, the engine. I'm happy with it.
Wow.
We have like a little more swing arm angle than it looks a little funny to me. But it's because we tried to match this height to the sprocket height on the engine.
Right.
Yeah.
So if we move this forward and get a little bit more cush, when I sit on it, it'll straighten
even
out
it out
a little bit
and it'll
more.
make the chain work better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're having a bit of an argument. We're talking about the seating position and fuel tank position. Here's what I think it ought to be. I like the fuel tank forward. I like the seat back. I do not mind the gap in between the fuel tank and seat. There's many a chopper motorcycle that has a huge gap between the gas tank and the seat, and I like this.
It doesn't look right to me.
That's your opinion.
I think the seat needs to go forward.
You think the seat ought to go just like that?
Yes. And then what does Luke think? Go ahead and show him, Luke.
No, they should seats all the way back and together.
See,
That'll be fine.
I
So
think
that's where Luke wants it.
but a gap at the front doesn't look right either.
And you think?
And I think in between what everybody says, not full far forward like this, not close like that, John. I'm not a fan of that gap right here. I say just a little bit of a gap.
Meet in the middle.
Just
Honestly,
meeting in the
why
middle.
don't we compromise on all
Meet
three?
in the middle.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
You have your like emotional support room there.
So if we're splitting between all of us, that means we would be kind of like there
And
like there.
Splitting
Splitting the
between all of us
difference
for
between
the
all
fuel
three.
tank, not the seat.
No, and the seat.
Seat
And the
goes
seat.
all the way back.
No,
Well,
John,
it's not
you
a
like
compromise.
that. Yeah, all right, that's fine.
See, John wanted
wanted
the seat all the way forward. I wanted it all the way back. You wanted it all the way back, and you.
Wanted it all the way back.
Oh,
So
Does
is
that
it
mean-
3 against 1 with the seat?
that's 3 against 1 with the seat. Okay, let's do the same with the gas tank.
That
Let's
looks
do the
fine.
same with the gas tank. So, John wants the gas tank here.
Well, now I don't, because now there's too much gap at the front.
You've been overruled on the seat. So, so I like the gas tank
This
like
is just, dude.
forward like that.
He's making
but
up his own rules so he can get his.
no, we're not making up the
that's
rules.
exactly what's
I'm not
going on.
making up the rule. That's where I like it. But you don't like it there, and you don't like it there, and you don't like it there. So, are we gonna split the difference and do something like that? Tiny little gap? No?
I gotta get another angle. So I'm looking at it. No, the fuel tank is like. Never mind. So we got tubage on the outside of the seat. So.
Little too big.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that looks pretty good. And then, you know what, just for you, buddy, we can just give it a little.
No,
No, that's fine
no,
right
no.
there.
You can't
right
do
there.
that to me.
As long as it clears the handlebars.
That's all I want. Like, I like the fuel tank as far forward as I can, keeping it away from my love spuds.
Excuse me.
Add more weight to the front of the
Scratch
bike, gives it better steering.
Exactly. Exactly. Just giving all the room in the seating compartment.
I think it looks good, guys.
I think it looks awesome.
Yes.
Let's send it.
Awesome. Finally.
Send it.
So we're using the Go Power Sports Uni Tank and a Rascal seat on here. And the Uni Tank is a great option because it's designed to bolt onto a lot of just random vintage mini bikes. Because, well, a lot of these old fuel tanks, they're rotten, and they're hard to find, they're metal, they're expensive. This is a great budget option, and it bolts on to a lot of mini bikes. This one, not quite. So we're having to remount our tabs, tack it in there, and it's gonna look fantastic.
Nice.
Looks good, man. Yeah, it's got these 6 mounting holes. You can only see 2 of them there, but it's got 6 total for all kinds of adjustability. Over. Nice. Seat brackets,
Finished up.
fuel tank, brackets, ready to go. So our chassis is getting very close. The fuel tank and seat are ready to install. However, we are going to brace up the neck of this chassis area just because, well, it was only ever designed to have 4, maybe 5 horsepower. So we have these 2 brackets cut out here. We're gonna weld it in right about there just to provide extra support around the neck area. And we've done the same already with the top.
Hey, bud. Engine's complete. I got the torque converter hooked up, bolted up, tightened up. Everything is looking good.
That thing is a beauty, man. Let's get it in the chassis. Well, we have a couple more finishing touches first. We gotta finish welding up our engine plate. We gotta weld in our foot pegs, but this thing it's really come along. We got a catch can installed. We're gonna show you how we like to route that. We just need throttle cable, fuel line, bolt this sucker up. You ready?
Yep.
Let's go. Here we go.
Oh, yeah. Looks like it belongs, dude.
Man, we built an awesome bike.
This thing looks fantastic, dude.
I mean, I know the only original part that's left is right here, but it's got a cool, like, vibe to it.
It does.
Let's get this thing bolted down, get the chain hooked up. We're gonna be ready to go.
Yeah, man.
What's crazy, what's that?
No kickstand, but we can work on that.
That's right. What's crazy is, like, just a couple days ago, there wasn't a mini bike there.
Yes.
At least there was just
now.
bits of one. Dude, that suspension looks great.
It's pretty even on the front and back.
It's what you want, right?
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like the shock is set up perfectly for you in the rear. And, you know, yeah, sit on it and let me check the, oh boy, that chain gets awful tight.
So we just need to loosen it a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit, but it gets awful tight when you sit down.
Yeah, it's gonna wear down real quick.
Yeah.
Stretch. So we need to remember a little bit looser.
Because it tightens up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
Let's
much, so.
jack this thing up and break in this engine.
All right.
We use the new build your own header kit on this thing, and this is like one of the coolest exhausts I think we've ever done. I mean, look, the clearance is nice and tight, but it doesn't actually touch, so it looks very purpose built for this bike.
Turn on the fuel. Gas going to the carburetor. Choke on. Switch on. Switch on. We've got the engine broke in. It sounds really good. Hopefully this thing's going to be an absolute ripper. It looks awesome.
I mean, it's a great looking bike, great stance. It should have a very healthy power plant. Let's find out.
All right.
We have put a ton of work into this mini bike. It may have started as a $50 mini bike, but it is, well, it's a lot nicer than that now. And you know what? This is going to be a great practice bike for the 180. Go ahead and fire it up, dude.
Okay.
Have some fun. Break it in. Well, we did break it in, didn't we?
Yeah.
We just ran it on the, we had to. Thumb throttle, brother.
Yep. Trying to get her straight. One full, maybe. Brakes feel good. I think the gearing is about right. Pretty good. I think we got the gearing just right. It'll pick up the front wheel. So this thing is a great bike. It's got the power. It's got, it feels very nimble. It's a fantastic bike. But I think we need to take it out and stretch its legs and see how it really does.
Let's do it.
All right. Buddy. Dude, that thing throws some rooster tails.
Yeah, this doesn't feel anything like the mini bike we started with. Definitely got some torque. Oh, yep. This thing is awesome, dude. And the brakes are fantastic.
I think the bike is amazing. The top speed I never achieved. It's probably geared for 55 or 60.
Chassis feels good. Got lots of wheelbase. Woo, man. Ugh. Should have put some fenders on it.
The bike is light. It's fast. It's really predictable. It's now one of my favorite bikes that we built. It has gone from a $50 mini bike to a priceless one. I love it.
You definitely need the suspension, man. Whoa. Yeah, it's fast. It's real fast.
What do you think?
We built a powerful, well-handling, well-stopping, nicely balanced bike.
It feels great.
Basically from a hunk of scrap metal.
Yeah. Awesome.
Let's find out what it puts down around the Cars and Cameras Grand Prix.
All right. You ready? On your mark.
Oh boy, getting soupy already. Lots of brakes, all the brakes. We're good, come on baby. Oh.
I think it's gonna be below a minute.
Love the suspension on this thing, it's awesome. Gotta watch out for soup. Man, you can just feel this thing floating right under you. Danger.
I don't know. It's
coming
pretty
up the
close.
woods right now.
Pretty close.
Woo. Johnny! Okay. I'm just getting too comfy with the front brake. Let it wash out.
He's okay.
Yeah. That was like the most dramatic ending to the slowest mini bike lap ever.
I mean, I don't think it was the slowest.
You're up, buddy.
That was very graceful.
Graceful crash.
Graceful crash.
Nice soft spot too.
Yeah.
Well, it can take a fall and keep on ticking, huh?
There you go.
About to find out.
Usually when we have a new build, like we gotta take it in a couple of times and like tune it here and there. Like right out of the shop, this thing is like 95% of the way there.
many times.
I
But
knew you were gonna say that. You want to run it again or no?
no.
Okay.
It's too soupy, man. If I go all out like I want to, I'm gonna wash out.
Yeah.
So
That's the awesome thing about this wheelbase though, and
Yeah.
the awesome tires. These things
Yeah.
are, I mean, they're big and they are, like, it's sturdy.
it's very good.
Yeah, like if you were to take a mini bike out there in the soup right now, it would be horrible. You'd be
Yep.
laying it down like I did on every corner.
Yeah. So I feel like I was probably about 1 minute and 2.
I mean, like, go us, dude.
Yeah.
Like, this thing is killer. And we got a killer 180 practice bike. We don't have to beat up on our race machine. Can learn the track, learn the corners.
And I think people are gonna love it.
Yeah, dude, it's killer.
Yeah.
Well, let's go reveal some lap times and wrap it up.
All right. Now it just goes to show that you can polish a turd. That $50 mini bike has just turned into something amazing, I think.
Yeah, it's an incredible run around here bike. I mean, it's totally docile at low RPM. You can pull start it no problem.
It's fast.
Yeah, and it's fast. Great run around bike, great practice bike for the 180. That being said, let's hear, okay, you were faster. Let's hear your time.
Okay.
You ran a 1:03:43.
Ah,
So it does go down here in between Big Red and the limousine go-kart. But that's because it's very swampy out there right now.
it's terrible.
It's been, I'm sure if you live in the South, it's been the rainiest year I can ever remember.
Yeah. So that's cool. That's a respectable time for as nasty as it is out in that yard right now.
Absolutely. If you want to check out any of these parts we used in today's video, we're going to link them in the video description. Come on out, build yourself a mini bike, and get ready to race in the Go Power Sports 180 this November in 2025. I'll leave a link for that event as well. We won last year, so we got to bring the heat this year.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, leave a thumbs up. We'll catch you next time. Right on the ankle.
Oh!
That's why we wear boots. You okay?
It hurts.
What happened?
Don't worry about it.